Progtime, the Layered Reality YouTube show.
Hello friends of all colors, sizes, shapes, and creeds to a new episode of Progtime. It is the end of October. This month has been ridiculously busy. So many things happened, and I figured I just wanted to run through that really quick before we go to the segments of Lauren, James, and Rowan. So here we go. This month started out with Progpower Europe, which is the one party I cannot miss. I always have to be there, and I mean, not just for prog reasons, but for family reasons. And I just wanted to take this moment to say thank you to everyone at the Progpower organization, all the bands that played this year. I've made a lot of new friends, saw a lot of old friends, just great stuff in general. And I just want to drop out here now that next year Progpower Europe is celebrating its 25th anniversary. And I can only say, this is a free endorsement, I'm not getting paid for this, but I can only say if you like progressive music, that is the place you have to be. Progpower is just one of those parties that you can't miss if you're into the progressive sphere. So if you have time next year, get your ticket in advance and be there. It's going to be really awesome. Next up, when you're watching this right now, I can tell you that Omnerod released a killer new song called Panspermia last Friday, actually. Although technically it's not a new song, it is actually an older song which they reimagined and redid in their current lineup and with their current skill set, and oh boy, I love it so much. It's such an amazing song, and they did a lyric video for it for the full thing. The song is now available in 2 parts on streaming services everywhere, so if your earballs like the heavy sound that Omnerod creates, well then, it's not like I can force it upon you, but I can say that if you listen to Omnerod enough, you will experience a potential elation of the likes you've never experienced before. And this is quite the claim, and I'm pretty sure we cannot make that, but I'll just keep saying it until it's reality. So there you go. Guys, help. Oh, that also segues into something else. Layers is back. The first episode is now live, and the second episode is also live right now, in which I was talking with Romain from Omnerod. So if you want to know all about how the album The Immensal Rise was made and how Omnerod works as a band, you should definitely check that out. Next episode is going to come out in 2 weeks. I can already say that I also recorded some other interviews, and I got some really, really cool guests coming up in the rest of this season, so you really don't want to miss out on that. And also a little bit of attention for our friends in 7 Station, who got multiple really cool gig announcements going on, including HRH Prog Festival, where they will be playing. They've already got some really cool stuff going. There's more bubbling underneath the surface, and there will be a new release coming up as well. So if you liked 7 Station, I know I did, then you definitely want to pay attention, because in the next coming months there's going to be a new release and there's all sorts of cool things happening. So that's really exciting. And I also want to end on a little shout out, because last week, like, we're releasing this video at the end of the month, but the guys from Omnerod were touring with the guys from Ihlo, and they were playing a lot of really cool shows in England and in Scotland, and they also played 2 dates with Ramage Inc. And I just want to do a massive shout out to Ihlo. Thank you guys for bringing these Layered Reality bands with you. Hope you guys had a lovely time. Based on the Instagram shenanigans and all the other things that we have seen, it seems like you guys were hitting it off relatively well. So let's hope that it leads to a lot of really cool stuff. And also, Ihlo guys, if you ever play the Netherlands again, we definitely should hook up and figure something out. But that is all for me for the news segment regarding Layered Reality bands. I hope you guys are ready for some new music recommendations, because Lauren's got some really interesting, partially martial arts based stuff. Rowan has some really, really, really dramatic stuff based on, I don't know, something with a murderer or something, I don't know. And finally, James also has a band, but he has not delivered his segment right now, so honestly, I have no idea what he's gonna be doing, but I love James, and his stuff is always awesome. So without further ado, let's go to the first segment. Lauren, take it away.
Hey everybody, it's Lauren Holly from Layered Reality Productions with this month's episode of Progtime, where I am going to try and find you what I call prunk, or progressive punk bands. This is my sidekick Trooper, who's also appearing in this episode, giving his 2 cents worth, which is obviously quite a bit. You can tell he's absolutely thrilled to be here. Anyway, the band that I'm going to be talking about today come from Highland Park, Los Angeles, California, and they've been around since 2010, all the way up to 2017. Unfortunately, they have gone defunct now. That would be a band by the name of Hot Karate. insert cool sound effects here, 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 and here. Anyway, Hot Karate had 4 albums in their history, going from 2011, which would be the first album called Moonlight Horchata, second album being called Hot Karate, the third, Finger Food, in 2013, and the last album from this band, 2017's Boo Boo Za Goo Goo. Now, they bring a rock element, an indie element, punk, prog, and grunge to their albums, and I really think it's actually quite complex, really catchy, and energetic as well. Now, there is not a lot available. As I said, there's stuff available on SoundCloud and Bandcamp, and there's a few videos rattling around on YouTube, mostly live videos. However, I really suggest you check these guys out. As I said, there are slight elements of prog and there are slight elements of punk. However, I would probably call them a more straight across rock band. It's toe tapping, it's catchy, and I think it's fun to listen to. So definitely worth checking out. Ricky is going to say in his bit, I guess, as well, because, you know, why not? His dad's obviously thrilled to be on this episode of Progtime. So anyway, I know it's short, I know it's sweet, and it's not a lot of information, but I guarantee that if you give these guys a listen to, you will enjoy it. So again, that's Hot Karate from Highland Park, California. Check them out. If there's somebody you want me to listen to that you think would fit the prunk category, drop a comment, let me know. And until next time, this is Ricky. Yeah. Potato. And me. Bye.
Thanks for watching Progtime. I'm Progfessor Rowan, and welcome to my laboratory. This time, I'd like to speak with you about Magoria. A band from the Netherlands who have written and recorded and performed 2 progressive metal rock operas in the vein of Arion. A few months ago, I went down to Baltimore to see Camelot and Seven Spires with a friend of mine who I met in Tilburg last year. He gave me control of the stereo. I chose Magoria. The first thing he says about half a song into the album, wow, this is literally another Arion. I agree with that comparison, with the caveat that their sound is entirely their own. On each of their albums, they tell us a story. Each album features 8 or 9 singers, including names that you might know. Jan Willem Ketelaars from Arion, Edward Riekers from Kayak, also Arion, and Rodney Blaze. Each album tells a story, the first of which tells the story of Jack the Ripper along the lines of the plot of the 2001 film From Hell. Their most recent album, released in March of this year, Hollingsworth Manor, tells the story of a haunted house. When they perform live, Magoria goes all out, and the band are all in full costume. Some outstanding songs from each album. From JTR, Queen Victoria is obviously the standout track, along with Annie Chapman, Catherine Eddowes, and From Hell. Some standout tracks from Hollingsworth Manor are Diamond in the Dark, I Can't Restrain Her Anymore, and Die for the Love of Your Life. Now, some final thoughts before I go. I'd like to wish Magoria a happy 5th birthday. JTR 1888 was released 5 years ago, November 9th. And, you know, if I were in the Netherlands, I would definitely be going to the show that they're having to celebrate this moment. If you're into progressive metal with multiple vocalists telling a story, go check out Magoria. You will be satisfied if that is what you're looking for.
Hey everyone, it is James from Lycanthro back once again on Tokyo Tunes, the monthly show where I show that my knowledge of Japanese metal is in the part of my brain that social skills should be. I hope you guys enjoyed the absolute badass girls of Bride Ear last month. I hope you guys got something out of it. But this month, I'm going to be talking about a band that is actually a melding of 2 previous bands that I've covered here on Tokyo Tunes. On one hand, you have the zany wackiness of Gotchirk Spin, and obviously the epic power metal majesty of Unlucky Morpheus. Fuse these two together, and you get the absolute bonkersness. Was that a word? Bonkersness? Anyways, it fits this band. We're going to talk about Dollsboxx today. So Dollsboxx are a heavy metal, hard rock, electro pop, prog, whatever the f***ness band, as usual, from Tokyo. And they are featuring the instrumentalists of Gotchirk Spin, and obviously the majestic, monstrous vocals of Fuki Commune from Unlucky Morpheus. The history of the band goes that back in 2012, I believe, the original Gotchirk Spin vocalist Army decided to take a leave of absence due to medical reasons. So the girls decided that they were going to start a new band with a slightly different sound, and they obviously recruited then Lightbringer vocalist and soon to be Unlucky Morpheus vocalist Fuki Commune, someone who was a very known figure in the Japanese metal underground at the time. And their sound did take a bit of a shift at this time. I mean, Gotchirk Spin is very much known for their absolutely bonkers musical stylings that combine every single genre under the sun, but when you add in the absolute majestic power metal vocals of Fuki, you had a seriously unique combination there. Their musical stylings range from everywhere from classic power metal to absolute bonkers electro pop, LSD, cocaine-induced stuff, and everything in between. And I think that's why prog fans will actually like this band, because their songwriting and their style is so eclectic. I mean, you'll have one song that will sound like something that should be coming out of a pre-teen idol group with all the electro-pop synthy mind. And then on the other hand, as I said, you'll have really sophisticated power metal, really complex songwriting, and as I said, something that you would probably hear at the end of a Persona game. Now, in terms of recommendations, there are only really two things I can recommend, as Dollsboxx only have 2 albums. They have their full-length album, Doll's Apartment, and they have their EP, High Spec. Both are very good, but if I had to pick one, I would probably say check out High Spec first.